Hello again, it's Lock Noob, and I'd like to introduce the Sparrows Chaos Card 2. Now, before I do go on, I just want you to know that I did actually assist in the design of this, so bear that in mind as I take you through the features of this card. It's hard to be objective over something that you did actually help design. Anyway, this is a bit of a dream come true for me in a way, because the original Sparrows Chaos Card 1, as we should now call it, is really iconic. In fact, I think I remember seeing this card in some magazine somewhere before I even started to learn lockpicking. And it's, like I said, a really iconic tool, especially because of this half round pressed handcuff key there. We've got lock picks, we've got automotive jigglers, wafer lock jigglers, a tension tool. We've got here comb picks on the side. I mean, and also the design of it is really cool. So it's a really iconic card. When Sparrows and I were talking about a new card, it was clear that we didn't want to do a replacement. We wanted to do a companion, just something which, knowing that a lot of people have one of these already, wanted to add some stuff to it that the original one didn't necessarily have here. So you can see here we've got a top of the keyway tension tool at the top there. We have an offset hybrid, which is a bit like a short hook / diamond tipped pick, very popular amongst pickers. We've got a small half diamond there, which can be used obviously picking and raking alike. We have a saw-toothed blade, and we have a combined tubular lock tension tool as well as warded lock tools there, and a medium hook, and of course another tension tool on the other side. So together you have, between these two, a huge selection of very practical picks and other picking tools, of course. It's very hard to know how to do a review of this, but I think the best way to do it is to break this apart and then look at some of the tools individually and then come to a conclusion at the end. So that's what we will do. First things first, let's just have a look at the overall sort of finish and styling of this. I mean, I don't know whether you can see, but there aren't any sharp edges. This is exactly how it came out of the pack, so to speak. And because of the way in which, and not many of these credit card sets have this, in the way in which the frame is integral to the whole card, it's actually like really secure. It doesn't feel like anything's going to fall out. It's very sturdy and rugged. And I think that is, of course, to its credit. It's a nice, sturdy feeling piece of kit. It doesn't feel like anything's going to catch or fall out or break off by accident. Like I said, the edges, I don't know if you can see there, are really smooth. It's not going to catch or cut. And you also notice that there's a lot of little features and designs. So you've got the little Sparrows keyway holes there. Obviously, some Sparrows lettering. Something to warn you that the point is sharp. You know, it's just got some really nice features. Now, I didn't know when to bring this up, but one of the things that I wanted to have included here was not just a hole at one end, which we sort of made into the Sparrows logo, but another hole towards the front as well. And they're a specific size to allow something like a brass rod to pass through. Here we go. Sorry, it's not very filed end, that one. Pass through like that. So why would that be important? And these are all the same size. So why is it important? Well, some people like to make custom lockpicks, and you can see that the spacing there would allow you to do a partial tang custom lockpick out of the tools once you've broken them off. And that would include actually this knife, and I might at one point have a go actually putting a handle on this and seeing if I can sharpen it up a little bit more than how it comes out of the pack. So there were some interesting little features that we wanted to include, which were both really nice as a design point, but also have a practical use as well. And there we go, that's everything out of the frame. And it was quite easy to do, but they were held in pretty firmly. I think that's actually a really, really good thing. So these are the picks. They're all in that Sparrow steel in 25 thousandths of an inch. Let's go and grab a few locks and see if we can't use these tension tools and these picks to pick them. So here we have a lock with what I call like a club type bitting, very low pin at the front, lots of high pins at the back. That would suit a medium hook like this. So I'm going to use the top of the keyway tension tool, which is in 25 thousandths. Not the thickest top of the keyway tension tool out there, but still very practical at 25 thousandths. Nice and long as well to give you some good leverage. I wouldn't necessarily want one any thinner, and just go long, and we can get on top of these pins as we need. Take advantage of that longer hook. Must have a pin left in there somewhere. There we go, and we are open. Next up, I think we'll try this very nice looking bottom of the keyway tension tool, nice and rounded, and fits very well in this type of keyway, as you can see, very nicely. Make sure, of course, you don't catch yourself up on the rivets. And I'm going to use the little half diamond there as a little short hook. So get in and try and pick those pins. And we are open. So next up is a very typical Eurocylinder, 6 pins, security pins, reasonable bitting. Going to use the bottom of the keyway tensioner and hold it in the keyway lightly, and then use the offset hybrid as a hybrid. I'm just going to go in, we're going to gently stroke the pins and just see whether I can coax it into a full set just by going back and forth and raking this core. Oh, well, look at that. We actually managed to, instead of getting into a full set, rake the whole thing open. So yeah, these hybrid picks are very powerful. Now for the very handy warded lock tool / tubular lock tensioner. So these warded lock picks should work extremely well on warded lock. So we have the classic T or cross shape there, and then for the master lock one, I tend to like to use the other end, which is sort of that classic L shape. Now I'm going to try and get a tubular lock and use this tensioner to pick it. I might speed this up because obviously tubular locks do take a little bit of time to pick. I'm going to be using this half diamond as my probe, because you could use a medium hook if you wanted. This just seems to be a little bit more intuitive to me, so that's what I'm going to be using. And there we go, we have an open. So I'm only going to pick it one position, but you can see there that we have an open cylinder. And now the bit I was most looking forward to is looking at this. Oh, that is surprisingly sharp. I think that because this is laser cut, it might have a little bit of edge hardening caused by the laser, which is really, really good. So let's test it out on something. First up, we've got some cable ties here. So just going to try to get on here and cut them. There we go. Well, that was surprisingly easy. Reload it again. Just going to try with these a little bit tighter. Yeah, very easy to cut. Really is like a saw. It's got a pointy edge, so clearly it's pointy. Let's cut some nice bits of carrot. I mean, it does cut. Now for an obligatory tomato cut. I'll be honest, it's basically a saw, so it will probably cut, but it might make a lot of mess, but that's part of the fun. You know what? It's not making anywhere near as much mess as I thought it would. I don't think we're going to get sort of wafer thin slices, but it's clearly going to be good enough for what you need it to do. Oh yeah, making a right mess. Let's do it this way now. Lovely. I'm just trying to look around for things I could cut, and I did see this lolly stick, so I thought, well, this is like a saw, so will it saw this? The answer is yes, although clearly having a handle on this would make a huge improvement. So there you go, the Sparrow's Chaos Card 2. I hope you like it. I really liked working on this. I like how the tools work, how they're constructed, their practicalities, their finish. I just think it makes a really good companion to, of course, that original Sparrow's Chaos card. You know, it adds so much more capability to it, but it actually stands up on its own as well. You know, giving you warded lock picks, tubular lock picks, a set of lock picks which cover all the bases from you know, hybrid tools to medium hooks, and of course your top and bottom of the keyway tension tools. So I think it's a really good companion, but it does stand up on its own as well. I'd really like to know what you think in the comments. Please leave me a comment down below. I read them all. I reply to as many as I can. If you like content like this, I'd really appreciate you subscribing and of course leaving a like on this video if you can. And I'll see you all next time.